Hey everybody, today I'm going to be stepping you through the demo, all of it. I'm just going to let the game speak for itself, so let's just jump in there. So the first map is prototypical, and one thing I always like to do is stick a turret back here to catch any guys that I miss. Yeah. And I also like putting turrets on walls, so I'm going to stick one over here, and I'm going to place a shotgun down here. Understood. Might as well get the game going here. So it doesn't look like much yet, but I'm going to be building a masterpiece. So I've unlocked all the turrets for the sake of the demo, or at least the ones that are available in the demo. So when you're playing this the first time, you'll have to step through a series of level ups before you get any of this stuff, but you're welcome to replay levels over and over if you want with the stuff that you unlock later. And I'm just going to rush a few waves here because I can handle it. Probably should stop pushing that button. Rushing waves causes creeps to spawn faster, but you get more money. Let's build some walls. Start routing these guys around here. A lot of these guys are slipping through, so I'm just going to move Brian over here to deal with that. Pushing a little hard on the onset here. I'm going to set him to target the closest thing. Pushing buttons. And I'll let a couple of guys slip through because I know that turret in the back will be able to deal with it. Understood. It's got to deal with these humble beginnings. So I'm going to route these guys back through here. This way, once I put some turrets in here, I'll be able to get double, maybe triple duty on some of them. You'll see what I mean in a second. Maze building is a huge part of this game. As long as I don't sacrifice the moment for the sake of the future. So some of these maps will require a little bit of foresight and pre-planning. Each map will list out the types of creeps, and those different lineups will make the maps feel pretty different. Not every strategy is going to work on every map. Come on, let's get this ground pounder going. Alright, here we go. Alright, so this is like an area of effect turret. You're the expert. Well, we're getting a little crazy over here, so Brian's gonna come over here and deal with this. And I'm gonna bring this guy back here. So you can see here, as I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted, you can see here that the radius will cover the 3 different paths, so I'm going to upgrade its range, since it's in a very good spot. I'm going to basically flesh out a little kill box there. So yeah, Brian's helpful here. He's kind of like a floating super turret. He can also be upgraded, move him around wherever you want. That way the player has a little bit of agency, instead of just building stuff. Alright, we're doing good, making some money. Saving up for a genocide strike right there. And that bought me another ground pounder. Genocide strike uses a special resource called POW, which regenerates. You can cast it whenever you want, as long as you've got enough juice. These are nice and rush-friendly turrets, because pretty much anything that'll pass through them will get hit. Unless they're fast. But anything inside of its damaged field is going to take some damage. Upgrade the range on that guy again. Wave 10. So this map only goes up to wave 15. It is just the first one, but waves get longer and more complex as they go. You can see that these running guys are showing up. They might be a little bit too much for my backup turrets here. Getting a little close. a few guys passing through. It won't fail the map or anything, but I'm greedy and I want the side objective of killing every creep. Can't let any of them pass. I will not allow it. Let's build some more fun stuff. Artillery. Ooh. Get in there, Brian. Don't make me restart. Woo! Good boy. Okay. Alright, so we can see a lot of yellow creeps, so they've gone up a level. They're going to be a little harder to kill than the red guys. But we're hanging on there. No problem. I think. Alright, where was I? Oh yeah, artillery! Alright. I can see the goal on the timeline there, so we are getting there. More projectiles. You can see like the extra little barrels appearing on the artillery cannon as I upgrade it. So there's little doodads that appear for every upgrade. Variety. And all these turrets do require some kind of firing solution, so the blasters and shotguns have direct line of sight, while these artillery cannons will actually calculate whether or not they can hit across the arc. Lots of yellow guys here, so I'm going to put a shotgun back here. It's got a nice downward angle, so all the pellets should hit the ground and explode. Sometimes it's helpful to put your turrets up a little higher. Alright, so I'm going to flesh this end of the maze out a bit. Can you guess what I'm going to put there? More artillery. It never ends. Well, let's rush a little bit. Feeling a little cocky. I'm on it. Well-placed genocide strike. I'm just going to wait for this area to fill up a little bit, get the most out of it. Really should be spending all this delicious money. So there's a variety of different abilities, but for the demo we have the genocide strike and the nano fixer. So later on we're going to see some creeps that can actually damage your turrets. Now don't worry, damage is only temporary, so turrets are restored at the end of every wave. You're the expert. Maybe I'll upgrade this one in the back a little bit so I don't have to keep coming back here all the time. I've got other things to do, you know. Second to last wave. Come on, let's just get through this. Bring it. Bring it. I can handle it. I've got some green guys on this wave, so they're going to be a little bit tougher than the others. Nothing we can't handle, though. Our maze here is pretty good. Nice little kill box. I don't think anything's getting through. Well done. I'm really curious to see how other players build out their mazes. Sometimes I wonder if I'm not really good at this game, actually. I mean, I should be. This demo is readily available right now, so please show me your best map layouts. I'd love to see them. Alright, so the wave is finished spawning, so now we just have to make sure we kill all the rest of these creeps and we'll be good to go. On to something more difficult. Yeah. These creeps have no respect for my schedule at all. So smug. Nice, so we killed all the creeps and we completed the map on time, so that's good. Victory is mine. Alright, so let's take a look at the artifacts we get. So every map will give you kind of like a loot drop thing. And they're persistent, so they can help you out in the future. So let's take a look. So this one's got a blaster multi-shot. So yeah, there's a 15% chance that your blasters will add 2 extra bullets. Sounds good to me. So there's all kinds of these different artifacts. Some of them are just stat modifiers, but some of them change the behavior of things quite a bit. So let's put this to the test, shall we? We're going to start a new map here called Hairpin. So as usual, I do like to put a turret right by the goal here. The driller. Just to catch any creeps that slip on through. So you can see here that the shape of the maze is kind of baiting the player into completing these long lines, so let's do what it suggests. There's also a gleep container here, so your turrets won't shoot at these automatically, you kind of have to target them. They have an enormous amount of hit points. If you blow them up, you get 1,500 bucks. Really? And that is something I want, so we're going to start working on this. Send Brian over there, he's going to help. We'll shoot creeps that come on down the line, though. Creeps are always prioritized over these other secondary targets, unless you specify otherwise. Right, so let's bring in some more creeps. I want some more money. So yeah, you can see sometimes these blasters, when their barrel flashes, you can see that the 2 extra bullets come out. That's a successful multi-shot cast. So let's build some more of those. I like the multi-shot. Might as well leverage that artifact we used. You're the expert. Upgrade its range a bit. So I'm going to set some of this garbage here to also be targeted, start clearing that up. It's not really in my way, but the eggs that come out will spawn a few creeps, and if you kill the creeps, you get a few bucks. So there's like kind of like money in these things. But I don't want to kill too many at once, or else you get a little overwhelmed with the number of creeps that are coming out. Even that's like a bit much, so I'm going to send Brian over there to deal with that. More work. I'm going to set him to shoot the closest thing. He gets distracted when he's set to random. Whatever. Don't talk back to me, Brian. Blow up some more of this garbage over here. Pushing buttons. Let's put an artillery cannon down. It must be done. It does. It must be done indeed. I always like to put an extra projectile on there. Gonna upgrade this turret back at the driller here. A lot of guys are getting through. Making me a bit nervous. Yeah, that artillery cannon. Ooh. Okay, settle down. Oh, that was a wet one. Splat. It's just strawberry jam, I promise. Alright, let's use the genocide strike. Yeah, that blew up a lot of the garbage, so that's kind of a bad thing. But, oops. So these special abilities consume power, recharges over time. But you only can hold so much power, so you don't want to just sit there with it maxed out. You might as well use it. But power capacity can also be upgraded and modified through artifacts. Okay, quite a few creeps came out of that crate. I'm kind of worried about that, actually. That's a lot. So that was my fault. My genocide strike was a little too close. We'll deal with it. So you can see my maze is pretty light here. I'm trying to balance the number of turrets with the amount of upkeep, so upgraded turrets don't increase your upkeep, but new structures will, so there's strategy into having upgraded potent turrets versus completely covering the map with new structures. But that'll be a playstyle choice. Wave 10. Did I mention these Gleep containers are hard to kill? There are some turrets that are not available in the demo that'll make quick work of these. Some maps have a lot of these, and it's actually your primary way of making money early on. Man, that artillery working overtime. And I'm gonna change my maze, but I'm gonna do it in such a way that I don't want any creeps to slip through, so... Spacebar is your friend. Pause the game whenever you want, make changes. That way they don't slip through my little temporary construction site. But yeah, this ground pounder here should get them leaving and coming back. Anything you can do to get the creeps to pass by your turrets more than once. Maximize the value of your turrets. I'm gonna upgrade this stuff near the Gleep container. I want that thing dead like yesterday. Come on. Sweet. And I'm gonna set it to a priority target, so anything within range. That's a bad idea. It's got too many creeps coming through. But you have a variety of different target options with these things. I'm gonna upgrade the fire rate back here since a couple of guys are getting in. So these skitzers, they create stampedes when they're afraid. You can see them getting hit, freaking out, and any other skitzer around will also start stampeding, so large numbers of them can speed past your turrets, but when they're doing that, they do take a bit more damage, so if your turrets are equipped to dealing with fast-moving targets, then you should be able to handle it. I'm going to pause the game here, issue a few more upgrades, because things are getting a little crazy. Good stuff. I don't like it. Die. But for what purpose? Alright, let's put another genocide strike down, see if I can get a nice big pile of guys. You're the expert. This Gleep container, I swear, it's the bane of my entire existence. Hurry up already! Upgrade the shotgun maybe a little bit. So very close. Got about 100 creeps on the map here, looks like. And the goal is within reach. Yeah, these skitzers are cascading a little bit, stampeding through. Might be a bit of a problem. They're not big free thinkers, you know. You just see the guy next to him freaking out. I better freak out too. Just like in the animal kingdom. Better get Brian back here a little bit. Make it do right. Oh no. There it is. I failed the side objective. It happens. Maybe I shouldn't rush so much. But I've actually been intentionally kind of playing this map as if I don't know what's coming. Like I said earlier, You're going to want to familiarize yourself with the types of creeps that are going to show up, because some of them are designed to mess with you a little bit. We're going to see what I mean in a minute here, when a new type of creep shows up. And there we have it. So you see these lines darting across the screen, so that is a porter. And they will teleport from one spot to another as long as it's a straight line with no 90-degree angle turns. So the map kind of baited me into building these long lines, but these creeps are taking advantage of that. So the porters really don't like jagged mazes, but they are wrecking this setup I have. They're just teleporting right past all these turrets. I can't hit them, so I'm going to pause the game, make a few changes here to deal with this new type of creep. So again, the map will tell you what types of creeps you're going to see, and it's your job to kind of adapt a strategy to deal with the types of creeps you're going to see on that map. And every map is different. There are 15 different types of creeps in total so far, and those are different behaviors. Those are not just leveled up versions of the same creep. We got cloaked creeps, creeps that explode on death, creeps that make more creeps, shielded creeps, creeps that shoot back at you, all kinds of stuff. Understood. I'm going to use the nano fixer on the driller here, keep us in the fight a little bit longer, but that again requires power, so I won't be using a genocide strike anytime soon. But that was my choice. You can also upgrade your driller's health if you want. That destroyed Gleep container left a hole in my maze, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Alright, so this dragon maze is doing a little better. But again, I mean, that'd be something I would want to build ahead of time if I was paying enough attention. But I could have saved myself quite a bit of grief if I set my map up accordingly from the onset. So familiarizing yourself with the creeps is part of the game. You can't really go into these maps blind. You always have to adapt a new strategy for each map.
Faster.
If you say so. Let's build some more turrets up here. Hammer down into this nice little porter kill box. I'm making 4 turns down here. They're not too bad once you know how to deal with them. Should I build something over here? Nah, forget it. I'm not really leveraging that part of the map, but you could. Alright, so I'm going to use another genocide strike, but I'm going to rush a little bit there and fill it up, make the most of it. Try to get as many creeps in this little area as possible. Kill. Alright, good enough. We're almost done spawning the last wave. Is that in order? Now it's just the mop-up process. The last wave does get a little bit of a bump, so you can see there's quite a bit on the field here. I think we can handle it. Our driller's not taking any more damage. But we did fail that side objective, I'm sad to say.
That's what you get for being dumb.
Man, sometimes I think Brian understands me. So rude. Maybe later I'll redeem myself. I was playing bad on purpose, I swear. So here we can see the line of sight calculator. So all the little red eyeball icons is where this particular turret can't hit. And it will actually factor in the arcs for the lobbing turrets. So you can generally tell if your turret's going to be able to shoot anything before you commit any money to placing it. Alright, there we have it. Goal reached. We at least completed the map on time, but we did not kill all the creeps before they hit the driller, so oops. That'll affect the quality of the artifact. So we got some new ones here, so I'm going to take the top one here, which is a freeze wave on hit for the damage field, so that seems pretty handy. You can have 3 artifacts active at once, so my multi-shot is also still working. So we're going to jump onto bypass now, and we're going to put both of these artifacts to work. So you can see this map has a lot of trash to contend with. That'll be something we'll have to manage. And over here we can see that we have a Gleep container again, but we also got this booster down here. So if you put something on here, it'll do more damage, shoot faster, and have increased range for free. So you want to take advantage of these. I'm going to put a couple turrets back here to catch any of those guys that slip past. And I'm going to put a ground pounder here and drop down a few walls. It doesn't look like much now. We're going to need some more money before I can actually make this work. But it will be glorious someday. I'll just park Brian right here, and
The expert.
I'm going to need to mark some of this trash to be cleared in order to allow creeps to pass through this area, so I want to route them up through this island. Well, let's just get on with it, and I can easily rush the first wave, no problem, I hope. Fine. But we need some more money. I'm gonna set this as a priority target. Kill it now, please. Alright, so a few creeps are getting through, but I do have 2 turrets back there. Right, you saw the, so you did see the ground pounder fire off its freeze wave, so it's locking these guys in place. It's pretty handy. So a lot of them will be frozen long enough that they'll get hit twice by that same ground pounder. You better believe I'll be building another one of those when I can afford it. So you can really see how these artifacts can give you an edge. Alright, getting some creeps out of that garbage container. We're doing pretty good here, actually.
If it must be done.
Until these running guys showed up, I really should just keep my mouth shut. That was close. Alright, I'm gonna pause the game here, spend some of my money, so yeah, another ground pounder. This will kind of be the center of my epic kill box. This map takes a little bit of work to get your maze up and running. It's pretty big, requires quite a bit of garbage to be cleared. Like I said, some maps require quite a bit of planning. I wouldn't expect to be successful on your first attempt at every map. You'll make it through the first couple, no problem. But these maps do get pretty tricky. I do like that frost wave. Hopefully it's not too overpowered, though. That freeze effect is really helping me out on this map.
Die.
You can really supplement your playstyle with these artifacts. Alright, so we got some of these guys sneaking on the back here from the garbage that I'm trashing. Alright, you can see my maze is starting to come together now, so the path is doubled back on itself, and they're going to pass by these ground pounders again, getting damaged and hopefully frozen.
put down every last one of you if I have to.
Okay, so you see the map has changed inadvertently because this ground pounder has actually destroyed the garbage and then the egg hatched. So you do need to be constantly aware of
Pushing buttons.
changes in the battlefield. And some of them aren't really intentional either. So again, here you see my genocide strike destroying some of this garbage. So next wave, when these eggs hatch, they're going to change the maze a little bit.
Must be done.
And we're going to have to adapt to that kind of thing. I'm going to park Brian up here to help with this Gleep container.
More work.
I feel like I'm always fighting these Gleep containers. I want that money. Okay, again, big change in the map. Gonna have to plug that hole. And it looks like I'm gonna have to run Brian over here. That's a lot of dudes. Get on it, Brian. Gonna upgrade this turret. I think we're fine on that one.
Understood, I think.
Go deal with that Gleep container. Alright, so we got porters, but we knew they were coming because I looked at the map. So I built the jagged maze on purpose, and they're going to spend a lot of time getting hammered by those ground pounders, so I don't think they're going to be a big problem with this map. I do want this thing to just be done so I can get my money. Then we can make a really nice kill box down here. So I'm gonna destroy these two garbage piles because if they're destroyed by a creep for any reason, they're gonna let them through without me knowing, and that's a liability, so I'm gonna just get rid of them. And we'll build walls in their place. Walls can't be destroyed or altered in any way unless you sell them, so I don't want any surprises. Garbage is kinda like a wild card that way. And there are creeps that shoot and explode on death, and they do damage to the garbage also, so you always have to be watching. The battlefield is quite dynamic that way.
So.
Put a blaster here and actually make some use out of that multi-shot artifact that I'm using. Wow. Got a lot of good lucky hits on that frost wave. I'm going to set this as a priority target. So these turrets and Brian, they will only shoot at this thing. They'll ignore the creeps. My little kill box is potent enough that we don't really need Brian right now. I just want them to focus on that Gleep container. Get that money a little sooner. Maybe that was a bad idea? They look weak. I think my backup turrets can handle it. No problem. Lots and lots of turns on this map, so these porters are having a hard time. Gonna upgrade these ground pounders, so they're kind of like the focal point of this whole map for me. Doing pretty good here. Backup turrets doing their job. Gleep container still has a lot of health. I'm going to pause it here, upgrade this turret, because these porters are getting in a little bit, and they do have quite a bit of health. We seem to be doing fine, though. Finally, that Gleep container. Alright, let's just pour that into this ground pounder. Upgrade these shotguns a little bit.
It never ends.
Now that Brian doesn't have to shoot the gleep container, we gotta put him closer to the front line so he can actually contribute a little bit to the mess of creeps that are running through here. You always want Brian doing something. In fact, you always want all your turrets to be shooting, so those ones in the back, I mean, they're there as a backup, but a lot of their potential is being a little bit wasted. I'm really curious to see how other players tackle these maps. I do really like these ground pounders, so we're going to keep upgrading them. Let's put a genocide strike right here.
Is that an order?
Boom. Okay, so wiped out some garbage, but I think we can handle that. I'm just going to upgrade some of these backup turrets. Maybe get Brian ready to scoot over there once that happens. Yeah, get over there, buddy. I'm gonna set the rest of this garbage to be targetable. Don't need it anymore. Get a few bucks out of killing the creeps within.
But for what purpose?
Alright, so we're overpopulating a little bit. There's just a lot of creeps on the field. This will cause them to mutate and bump up a level. I think we can handle it, though. The nice thing about leveled up creeps is they do give you a bit more money, so there's strategy even in maxing your creeps out. If you're a greedy kind of player, that is. And I certainly am.
Fine.
Okay, so this is getting a little crazy. Gonna pause it, upgrade these guys. If I fail the side objective on this one, I'm probably gonna go cry or something.
Is that an order?
Okay, let's take a look at what we got down here. Upgrade this guy.
Whatever.
Not whatever, Brian. Do it. You can turn the chatter off if you want to.
If you
Gonna
say
build
so.
an artillery cannon up here. Not sure why I didn't do this sooner. I like to put more projectiles on it. It's probably one of the best upgrades for this thing. And again, you can see that lovely firing solution trying to calculate. Took quite a bit of work to get a artillery cannon to shoot while on the wall like that. But it is pretty neat.
I say.
We even have a couple of maps later on where you have to fight on the ceiling. Not too many maps like that. They are a little confusing. And you never have to play a map you don't like. There's always more than one option. Yeah, these ground pounders are freezing these guys pretty regularly. Alright, wave 25 goal is in sight. 5 more waves.
Good stuff. You just keep coming.
Do they ever? Alright, I'm gonna bolster this area with some more shotguns. Their explosive tip bullets do a tiny amount of area of effect damage.
Stay down. Don't get up.
So anything we can do to kill or damage multiple creeps at once. Alright, now we got some blue guys coming in. And I don't mean just the frozen guys, I mean actually blue guys. Pretty tough. Nothing my murder box can't seem to handle, though. Hey, Brian, you got work to do.
It never ends. Make it do right.
I'm gonna tell Brian to shoot at the strongest thing, so he's gonna shoot whatever has the most maximum health.
That's what you get for being dumb.
These little guys are getting trashed by the ground pounders, but some of these extremely healthy creeps are making it through. And I would like it if Brian would just deal with that.
This is pretty disgusting.
So you'll notice that these upgrades are getting pretty expensive. Upgrades all cost the same, it doesn't matter what you're upgrading, but the more times you upgrade the same turret, the more it'll cost to upgrade it again. Upgrades get progressively more expensive. But most upgrades will give you a pretty good lump if you get to the end of its chain, so if you can upgrade the damage 5 times, that 5th time will give you a nice big lump. But it's expensive. But look at how many creeps are in this one spot. I mean, that's a traffic jam. So I'm very compelled to just upgrade these turrets as high as I can get them. Those few tiles right there are just soaked with blood.
That can't be good.
Alright, now we got brutes. So these guys are horrible. They're kind of like boss creeps. They can damage my turrets with corrosive blobs. They have shields, and when they die, they drop more creeps. So I'm gonna set them as a priority target and send Brian over here to deal with them as quickly as possible. So you can see here they've destroyed a couple of my turrets. That's bad news. Again, these will just regenerate at the end of the wave, but they're out of action right now, allowing these guys to get further down the chain, causing me more problems. So you see quite a few of the lesser creeps getting through, because these turrets aren't firing.
But for what purpose?
It's getting a little dicey back here. I'm almost compelled to rush this wave just so I can get to the end of it and repair these turrets. But I'm not sure if that's just going to add to the problem. There's a lot to think about. Even Brian's taking damage. And yes, he can die. But he'll respawn after a little while. But even having him out of the fight for a minute, it's a big problem.
It never ends.
Alright, we're on the last wave here. Gonna pick on these brutes a little bit. See, they're actually able to shoot at your driller from where they are here, so sometimes it's bad to route your guys close to your drillers because certain creeps can actually shoot at it. Creeps just running into the drillers isn't the only way they can damage it, so lots to think about.
Is that an order?
And every map will have a different layout of creeps.
Probably gonna end up regretting that.
So I'm going to use a nano fixer and repair these turrets. I need them. I need them in the fight. This is the last wave.
But for what?
Just got to deal with the last of these guys, and I think we'll be good to go.
Yep. Stay dead. I'm on it.
We got these purple critters. They're just the lowest of the low creeps, but when they're purple, they're going to have quite a few hit points.
More work.
Just a few guys left.
If you say so. You're the expert.
Alright, and we're done. Nice, and we completed both side objectives. Let's take a look at our artifacts, shall we? Fire wave, instant reload, homing bullets for the shotgun. That's really cool, actually. I would really like to show you guys that. So, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back to Hairpin, and we're going to beat that map. I'm going to redeem myself and beat it and get the 2 side objectives. And we're going to play it differently. We're going to play it knowing what's coming.
Make it do right.
So let's do that. But for the most part, I'm going to try to do something totally different on this map. I'm not going to just build the same layout. We're going to focus predominantly on those shotguns. Or splatter guns, I should say. I changed the name a while ago, and I just can't let go of its old name. But yeah, we're going to focus on those because we got those cool homing bullets. I'm going to target some of this trash back here. I'm going to try to push creeps up and through this area. And then we're going to start working on that gleep container as per usual. And I'm just going to get on with it. Start clearing some of this trash. Come on, Brian, let's do it. We can rush a little bit. It'll take a little while to get our maze up and running. But these early waves are pretty easy, so I usually rush them, get a few extra bucks, get ahead of the curve a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to try to plug up this area, force them on up through.
Understood.
There we go. So if you watch those shotgun turrets, you can see that every now and again their bullets are going to actually swing back around and track. Yeah, see there. They can still hit the ground or another surface, but they're pretty much guaranteed to hit something when this fires.
Is that an order?
I don't know what I like more, the homing bullets or the freeze wave on the ground pounder. Don't want to spoil anything, but some of the ones I have for the turrets that are outside the scope of the demo are insane. I have some devastating ones that only have like a 1% chance to cast.
Bring it.
Gonna build a few walls here with the intention of putting some turrets on it later, when I can afford it. These shotguns are chowdering these guys down here pretty good, so I'm gonna just park Brian over top of this gleep container.
I don't have all day.
Gonna put another shotgun on this elevated position so it can shoot up and over top of the rest of this stuff.
If you say so.
Because line of sight does matter. So these shotguns aren't doing nearly as much damage per bullet as the blaster would, but more bullets. And the explosive bullets do a little tiny bit of AoE, so it's really good at dealing with these creeps that are in a tight formation like this. I'm gonna stick a artillery turret on the wall here. Show off some more of that beautiful shot calculation code. Send Brian back to his gleep container forever. I want that money. So I know it's early on, but I already feel like this is doing a lot better than the last time. Might as well use up this genocide strike before my power fills up. Alright, so I wasted a bunch more of that garbage. Same mistake I made as the last time, but we're gonna park Brian over top of it. Deal with it. I'm gonna put a ground pounder here first, though. That's a beautiful spot for it. So hopefully the freeze wave will lock them in place, and these shotguns will just tear them apart. Alright, so I'm gonna rush because I want to deal with these eggs while everything seems pretty easy.
Okay, settle down.
I'm gonna set them to target the closest thing. Deal with what's right underneath of you, man. Alright, that's good. I can let a few go.
Understood.
Now you can see the freeze wave in effect there, so it's doing its job.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put another pounder right here. So if the first one didn't get you, the second one probably will. Man, those homing bullets. That's something else. Might as well upgrade the fire rate on this, because that'll also increase the rate in which the freeze wave is being casted.
Pushing buttons.
Alright, so these skitzers are getting through a little bit. I see you. His health is pretty low, so I'll just let that backup turret deal with it. Maybe I'll set him to a priority target. Pick on him a little bit. I don't like that one specifically. Oh, look at my artillery turret trying to get it, because it's been set to a priority target.
Yeah.
Another pounder right there. I'm gonna upgrade Brian's range a little bit. Okay, so these skitzers are a little concerning. I need to flesh out the backside of this wall a little bit. Fine, if I want to deal with them. Get in there, Brian. You got work to do. Oh, don't make me restart the map.
Whatever.
Oh,
Okay.
never a dull moment.
Is that a quarter?
Alright, I'm gonna put some turrets over here to chew on this glebe container, so that Brian doesn't have to do all of it himself. Alright, I got a genocide strike, so I might as well use that.
Expert.
Don't have to worry about any garbage, since I destroyed it all the last time.
Yeah. Make it do right.
Alright, so we can see the goal on the timeline there, so we're getting there. No creeps have gotten through. We're gonna get those two side objectives this time. Gonna put some turrets on the backside here to
Must be done.
nail these skitzers that are slipping past. But they'll also have a nice good firing solution down into this kill box here.
I'm on it.
Yeah, I like this layout. It's doing pretty well. Alright, so this egg's gonna pop any second here, and the maze will change its shape, so I'm gonna keep an eye out for that. No surprises. Surprises are bad. Unless they're the good kind.
Hurry it up already.
Alright, so you see how the map has changed shape? These sneaky little guys are trying to get through. I'm not allowing it. We're putting another ground pounder in there. And this one will hit the creeps that are coming on their return path a little bit. And we'll put a shotgun here to chowder the guys that get frozen. So you can see how these two turret types are kind of synergizing. Freeze the guys in place, and the shotguns do what shotguns do. Am I even going to destroy this glebe container at all on this run? Set it as a priority target. Yeah, you can see my artillery trying to help out a little bit. Maybe I'll upgrade it, shoot a little bit more often. Yeah, that yellow guy. Slightly concerning.
It must be done. Okay, settle down.
It's actually a bit of an interesting strategy to upgrading Brian as much as you can. Turning him into, like, a war machine and then having different types of turrets that just hex or slow the creeps. I think some people will like to micro him around a lot, or you could focus on your turrets and just park them somewhere. That'll be up to you. I don't even think we're going to destroy this Gleep container at all this run. Doesn't look like we need it. We are doing a lot better than the last time, so redemption!
It never ends.
Well, maybe I should not speak so soon. Alright, so you see those porters coming in. And again, they don't like those jagged mazes, so they're also getting frozen, which means that they spend longer on those turns. More opportunity to get destroyed by those shotgun turrets.
Whatever.
You can see the maze is really jagged in the back, so those porters are going to spend months back there. How are you guys doing over here? Yeah, I'm not really even going to need this Gleep container, so we're on the last wave. I kind of want to just destroy it just for my own personal satisfaction, though. Hey, that thing sprung a leak, you know. Don't think it's going to buff out. Priority target that bad boy. Just do it. There we go. Alright, I'm going to spend that money and make these pounders even more potent. I'll just park Brian right over top of this. Rush the last of the wave. I think we got this one. Much better than the last time. I am running out of time, though. Getting the time sub-objective will require you to rush a little bit. Where's the last guys? Come on. All these turrets and nothing to kill. Whew, less than a minute to spare.
Okay.
Get back here. But we did it. Redemption. Awesome. And, as usual, we get some new artifacts here. You're limited a little bit in the demo. You can't get anything too crazy. But the full version has lots of crazy artifacts that you'll see. But yeah, there we go, folks. That's the demo. Please try it out for yourself. Let me know what you think. I'm always open to feedback and suggestions and bug reports. In fact, please let me know if there's any bugs. The only good bug is a dead one. And don't forget, this game does have 2-player co-op, so you each get your own Brian to control, and all the income is just split between you. Everything you saw here can be done in co-op. So just invite one of your friends on Steam, give it a go. So yeah, please let me know. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and enjoy the demo!